Hi, I'm Reagan Palmer, and I will be talking to you tonight about how college students can effectively manage their time. And I hope you don't miss the irony that I'm uploading this 30 minutes before the assignments due. Okay, I've been there before, so have you. It's 2 a.m. and the paper's due at 8. Your head's bobbing like a bobblehead, and your eyes are propped open with toothpicks, and you're wondering if they sell Red Bull in IV form. And you have some regrets about how you spent your time last weekend. I've had those regrets too. But as a working mother of 4, a wife, and a college student, I have had to learn how to make my time work well for me. I have done this by setting my priorities, scheduling my time, and not procrastinating. Okay, so setting priorities is one of the most difficult but important parts of effective time management. It's important to remember that priorities are all about balance. There's many great things to experience in life, and if you're focused on just one of those, you may miss some really great things and have regrets about that. So when you're setting your priorities, remember that they are result driven. It's important that you sit down, examine yourself and your life, maybe make some short-term and long-term goals. Look at what you want your life to look like in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, and then set your priorities around that. You also need to be realistic. You're probably not going to be the CEO of Apple 5 months after graduating, but you also can do really great things. So give yourself enough credit, shoot for the stars, and set your priorities in order of importance. Once you have that done, you can start to schedule your time. Again, it's important that you know yourself well. Start by looking at what time of day that you may be most productive. Are you a morning person? Are you a night owl? And then look at what type of schedule you think might work best for you. Are you hyper detailed and regimented, or are you more laid back and spontaneous? So for me, I am a night owl. So I'm not going to schedule really important things at 6 in the morning. I'm also more laid back and don't like a detailed schedule. So instead, I schedule out blocks of time during the day which I fit in different tasks. So for example, my mornings are dedicated to work, my afternoons are dedicated to homework, and then late afternoon and evening is dedicated to my family and my home. Now there are 2 things that every person needs when they're setting a schedule, regardless of their personality. And the first of those is a to-do list. A to-do list is vital in getting things accomplished through the day and should be listed in order of importance. I have 3 to-do lists. I have one for work, and one for schoolwork, and one for around the home and longer term type things. But whatever works best for you, have the to-do list. I found a great quote on usnews.com site by Karen Burns. And she said, "Don't put off the small things. All things being equal, do the hardest, least fun thing first. Just get it over with. If a task takes less than 5 minutes, do it right away. If it takes longer, put it on the list." And it's important that you stick with that. The more you work your schedule and your to-do list, the more of a habit that will become. It's also really important for every person to have a calendar, whether it's a paper one or on your iPad or your phone. Get a calendar and use it. Put everything in it and refer to your calendar multiple times. In the morning, at night, look ahead to the week, the month, even the year, so that you don't miss important things in your life. So now that we've established our priorities and we've made our schedule to honor those priorities, there is one thing that can derail everything, and that is procrastination. And this is something that I've struggled with before. And so I found a great article that gives tips out of the procrastination equation written by Dr. Pierce Steele. In that, he gives 3 tips. The first one is to get rid of temptation. Set aside a place for work and don't mix that with play. So in your home or wherever it is that you do your schoolwork, set that aside for work and don't let play creep in. And the other tip along that is to not get distracted on the computer or the internet, especially with social media. It can be so distracting. So it can take up to 15 minutes, he said, to get refocused once you get distracted. The second tip that he gives is to work with restrictions. He says, and I quote, "Make a mental contract with yourself to work for 30 minutes without interruption. You'll be amazed at how efficient you can be, knowing you only need to power through a short space of time before you can take a break." And this is something that has worked wonders for me. It always amazes me how fast the 30 minutes goes by and how much I did accomplish during that time. And the final tip that he gives is to, if you're still struggling with procrastination and these tips aren't working for you, to go to your college or university for help. There are counseling services that can give you more tips that will help you stay on track and reach your goals. So hopefully through this process of setting priorities and scheduling your time and not procrastinating, you'll no longer be looking for Red Bull and an IV. Thank you and good luck with your college endeavors.